This is lesson 5 for the chapter Principles of Inheritance and Variation. In today's video, I'm going to discuss about the post-Mendelian inheritance, or this is also called as the non-Mendelian genetics. So as we know that Mendel's hypothesis, although it was based on some experimental facts, and his experimental results which has been tested positive for many traits is however not applicable for the inheritance of all characters. The traits that Mendel chose, those are the 7 characters, contrasting characters that Mendel chose. They gave him the positive result, and on the basis of that he got the monohybrid cross ratio as 3:1 and dihybrid cross ratio as 9:3:1. But this is not applicable for inheritance of all the characters, and this is because that many characters are found to be influenced by 2 or more pairs of factors or alleles, which we now called as genes, and these are located on different pairs of chromosomes. Later, it was established that the appearance of almost every character is based on action of more than one gene. Moreover, one gene can also control more than one character. Thus, a simple Mendelian principle cannot be applied in all the cases. But up to the time of Mendel, it was believed that each character is controlled by a single gene. So many scientists, they came forward and they again repeated the Mendelian crosses for different organisms, such as in case of the skin coat of dogs, flower color of the snapdragon or Mirabilis jalapa plant, the coat color of cows, coat color of rabbits, etc. And in all those cases, some different results were found, and it doesn't match with the result of the experimental outcome of the Mendel's experiment. So, the later results or the later studies after Mendel, these were all regarded as the post-Mendelian inheritance concept or the non-Mendelian inheritance concept. And in that, there are several such hypotheses about, or you can say that there are several results which are called as the complementary factors, supplementary factors, incomplete dominance, codominance, lethal factor, etc. In today's class, I am going to discuss about the incomplete dominance and codominance concept of post-Mendelian inheritance pattern. Many types of inheritance have been found which do not conform exactly to the Mendelian's law of dominance, and therefore the importance of dominance that was important for study, and many scientists, they studied about this law of dominance as to what dominance is and how that is transmitted from one generation into the other. And there it was found that the alleles are not identical as in the case of heterozygote. As we have found that in case of the Mendel's monohybrid or dihybrid cross, when he crossed between 2 contrasting characters or one contrasting characters in the hybrid generation or in the hybrid plant, he found that one of the character or the 2 of the characters, they exactly resemble the pure line parents, and those pure line characters of the hybrid plant, he termed them to be dominance. But in later cases of experiments which were performed by many scientists, There the alleles, it was not identical as in the case of the zygosity. So the dominant allele may undergo modifications, and in that different traits were again formed. So in homozygote also one of them may undergo changes, and this whole study, it was significant. And in that, to prove that the importance of dominance, that is an important study to be carried, there comes the incomplete dominance concept. So in case of incomplete dominance, it was found that, or it is the phenomenon where none of the two contrasting alleles or factors is dominant or recessive. In case of this incomplete dominance, where the one of the characters or one of the traits or alleles, so that completely doesn't suppress the other character, and because of that an intermediate form it was found, and such a type of inheritance, it is called as the incomplete inheritance or the blending inheritance. And when in case of them, when the F2 generation it was studied, the monohybrid cross ratio, it was not found to be 3:1, or the dihybrid cross ratio, it was not found to be 9:3:3:1. So let us first try to illustrate the incomplete dominance concept. One of the illustration of the incomplete dominance concept, it was given by Karl Correns, and he had done the experiment with the plant called Mirabilis jalapa, which is commonly called as 4 o'clock plant or and also it was done in case of a plant which is called as Antherinum majus, which is also called as the snapdragon or dog flower. In both the cases of these plants, there are two types of flower color in their pure state. One is red, which is designated with the letter capital R, and the another one is pure white, which is designated as capital W. As we don't know which one is dominant or which one is recessive, so we are just using the genotype in capital letters only. But for red, capital R is used, and for white, the capital W is used. Now similarly, as in case of the Mendelssohn that we have found that all the gametes, as these are homozygous, so all the gametes, they will bear the same allele for the character of red, and therefore that is haploid gamete, which consists of only R. And in case of the white plant also, the gamete, it will consist of the single W in a single gamete. Now when these two plants these were crossed in the F1 generation, the hybrid plant, it had flowered pink. Now this is pink, that is the phenotype of the flower, and in that particular plant, now for the flower color, it had the alleles as capital R and capital W, and when this capital R and capital W, they came together in that particular zygote of the plant, it gave the pink flowers. Now in order to study the next generation, and as here also artificial hybridization was only done, so in order to study the F2 generation, there Correns, he again selfed the flower. He allowed self-pollination in the flower, as they were also bisexual flowers. And in the F2 generation, again, there the ratio of 1:2:1 phenotypes were found, where you can refer to the Punnett square here. When capital R fused with together, or when the male gamete possesses capital R and the female gamete possesses capital R, and when these two capital R, so gametes consisting this capital R, they fused together, it gave capital R, and there in those plants the flower color, it was red. Now again in this generation also he got the same result, where the flowers, they develop pink in their color. So there also, if capital R gamete fuses with the other capital W gamete, so that gave capital R, capital W, and same again with the F1 parent, they were again pink. So this he got in two parts, and one part it was again capital W, where the flowers, they were all bearing white color in it. Now the occurrence of this pink color in the F2 generation also, so that gave the explanation of incomplete dominance, that here neither capital R is dominant nor capital W is dominant, or there is any kind of recessive allele here. As the two alleles, they blended with each other, that means it mixed with each other, and the blending of these two alleles, that is capital R and capital W, for the character of flower color, it gave the result of pink colors, where the law of dominance didn't follow. In that way, many other experiments were done. In case of fowls or chickens also it was done, and similar results were obtained, where the monohybrid cross ratio in terms of their phenotype, it didn't give 3:1 ratio, but it gave the 1:2:1 ratio. As you can see in the cross, here it is one part, that is capital R, two parts, that is capital R, capital W, and one part, that is again capital W. So this is about the incomplete dominance concept, which is also called as the intermediate dominance concept or blending dominance concept, because here the two alleles, they blended to give a new trait. That means we can conclude here that a third phenotype can be obtained in case of the incomplete dominance concept. Now let's come to the next post-Mendelian inheritance concept, which is called as co-dominance. It is the phenomenon of expression of both the alleles in a heterozygote. Now when the alleles, they do not show the dominant recessive relationship and are able to express themselves independently when present together, such type of alleles are called codominant alleles. That means here none of the alleles, it belongs to the dominant trait or it belongs to the recessive trait, but they can express themselves together when they are present together in a zygote. And as we know that when two different alleles, they are present within a zygote, that particular zygote or that particular individual, that is called as heterozygote or heterozygous individuals, and that whole phenomenon, it is called as heterozygosity. So that this concept we have come across right from the Mendelian concept, because there also the F1 generation, they were all heterozygotes. But in case of the Mendelian inheritance concept, the heterozygote, it expressed the dominant trait, but later it was found that there are some alleles or there are some traits which are codominant in their behavior. That means both the alleles, they will act simultaneously in order to produce a particular character. Now here a question arises that whether codominant allele and incomplete dominance concept, whether it is same or not. Now let me cite out the difference between these two concepts. In case of complete dominance, it was found that there the two characters or the two alleles, they blended with each other and they gave a complete new phenotype out of that blending. So codominant allele, it should not be confused with the incomplete dominance concept. Here the codominance, it means that both the characters, they will express themselves independently, though they are present in the same zygote. That means none of the alleles, they will be considered as dominant or it will be considered as the recessive one. Now let's try to understand this with the help of a cross which was done in cattle, and there the character, it was taken as the hair color of cattle. Here the parents, they were one of white hair color, or the cattle, parent cattle, it was one of white hair color and the another one was of brown or red hair color. The white, it was with the genotype capital W, and let's consider brown here. The brown was with the genotype of capital B. Similarly, their gametes, they were all haploid, and the white cattle, they bear W in their gametes for the skin color, and the brown colored cattle, it gave capital B in the gamete for the skin color or hair color. Now when these two type of cattle, they were crossed with each other, they gave a color which is called as roan. So in this particular color, both white and the brown color, it expressed together and it gave a particular skin color to the cattle. So these hybrid animals, they were again allowed to self-cross. That means the roan, it was again allowed to mate with another roan individual. And after their mating, in the F2 generation, again 1:2:1 ratio appeared, because one part of the offsprings of these roan parents, they were of white hair color, two parts they were of roan hair color, and one part it was again of brown hair color. Now here these two parts of the roan hair colored offsprings in the F2 generation, they again followed the codominance concept, because the appearance of the capital B and the capital W alleles in the male gamete and the female gamete of the cattle, they again fused with each other, and because of that the roan individuals, they were again found in the F2 generation. Now another very significant example of codominance is the AB blood group in case of the human beings. So the AB blood group, that is also another very important example of codominance concept, because the allele for A and the allele for blood group B, these two are neither dominant nor recessive. And when these two alleles, they come in individuals, they expresses their nature quite independently, and therefore that particular individual, it bears the blood group as AB. So therefore we have as we know that we have 4 types of blood groups in case of human being, that is blood group A, blood group B, blood group O and blood group AB. So this AB blood group, that is an important example of co-dominance. So with this concept of incomplete dominance and co-dominance, I end this today's class, and we will continue with an important term which is related to this co-dominance, which is called as the multiple alleles, in the next class. Thank you.